My initial thoughts were, we came into this, and I remember the first meeting that Lee and I were pulled in, and they had this idea of a leadership program, and we came up with a bunch of bureaucratic ideas, and then at one point Lee and I kind of leaned forward and said, well, it ought to be fun, it ought to be interesting, it ought to be really something different. And everybody in the room kind of looked at us and said, okay, and walked out of the room. And then Lee and I looked at each other, and out of nowhere came up the idea of doing the iLead challenge as a reality sort of TV show where we bring these teams together and have them compete against each other, connecting them with interesting and interested downtown businesses and nonprofits, and really do something. So my initial impression was, oh my gosh, this is going to be boring, and then the subsequent impression was, this is going to be fantastic.
Once we were brought into the process, we had a simple 5-minute brainstorming session where a light bulb went off and said, let's do this. And we took that into PwC the following week and pitched it to them, and they were very excited about the prospect of working in and around the downtown with our businesses and our nonprofits. So it's something that kind of happened organically, but very quick.
It's just kind of evolved from there, and now it's about working with downtown businesses and developing their leadership and networking skills to be overall better professionals, as well as give back to the community. So it's changed over time.
I thought it was a great opportunity to put together PwC's interests in getting some of their younger people engaged in the community and out of their cubbies and get away from the tunnel vision that they get when they're focused on their work, along with our need to have some things good for businesses downtown, to engage young people with our businesses and convince young people it's a great place to work and live. It's just a good match. PwC people have a great amount of skill and talent, and being able to get them to work with our small businesses to make them more successful, to show them how to attract a whole new market, a different demographic into their business, I thought was a huge opportunity for small businesses to be successful in downtown. After we do this program to the end, we can evaluate it, see what works. I love being a catalyst and having other people do the work, because we don't have enough money and resources to do the things that we'd like to do. Get with it. It's time. PwC's showing you up.
And for me, I hadn't heard very much. This event was the first one I'd gone to. I'd heard the first event basically was playing video games. Sounded like a good chance to, I don't know, have a low-stress work day. So I happened to be in the office, had some free time, and I went to this event, and they were looking for just different ideas of things you could work on to plan and to lead some sort of activity.
Coming up here in the first week of November are 9 teams of approximately 10 folks each. Have put together a series of different events, wine tasting events, an urban camping outreach event. We've got a yoga event, among other things. Ultimately, what we ended up doing was partnering with the city so as to create a series of opportunities for our people to interact with members of the business community as well as members of nonprofit organizations throughout the city. iLead represents an opportunity. It's an opportunity to grow. It's a way to network with leaders of the community, with leaders in the government. And that's what this program is all about, is exercising those types of get out of your comfort zone skills.
We actually got to hear about our challenge, which looks like it's a year-long project, which sounds very interesting, helping the community as well as learning leadership skills, planning an event.
Today we went on a scavenger hunt. We broke off into teams. We were in teams with a mix of different staff levels and different lines of services.
And my experience here was really great. I grew up in San Jose all my life, and I did not know about some of the places that were on this tour.
It will actually bring out the inner leadership from us and actually help us grow as a person.
All right, our first place team.
Drum roll.
Out of a total of 44,
oh my God.
they scored 40 points. 40 points. Group number 7.
Elizabeth Lee, Brent Fellow, Sharon Cravens, Roy Fang, Cynthia Daly, Jen Tuffley, Edwin Lamb, Michael, Britt Swanson, and Josh Rappaport.
Now, if anybody feels the need to audit the results over here, okay?
How do we create that learning earlier on in people's careers? How do we teach that, the networking skills, the relationship building, the connectivity?
Well, I think the initial challenge was overcoming the skepticism of a large group of young accountants that they were capable of getting out there, connecting with businesses that they didn't know, creating an event from scratch, and making something really exciting happen. And one of the biggest things we did to overcome that was the very first time we got them together is we sent them out all over the city, looking for the interesting places and the interesting things about the city. Little historical facts here and there, the bookcase in the library that turns into a hidden passage. And when they came back from that scavenger hunt, they had a totally different perspective on the city, and I think an opening to that sense of possibility. So we'd overcome that challenge. Since then, the other challenges are a little bit more mundane. How do you actually go about putting an event together with only a couple of $100 budget? How do you attract people to it? How do you make it successful? And I think the proof will be in the pudding. We'll see how the events go and whether the teams themselves are up to that last challenge.
Our original vision was, having a series of quarterly events where we would possibly invite in a local sports personality, a local business leader, a Silicon Valley executive to share some of their learnings and what they know now, as an executive, to sort of plant the seed with some of our younger staff. Followed by, either a networking event, we've had a scavenger hunt, we've had video game sessions to try and introduce some of those other skills in a fun way. I mean, that was the second part of iLead, to A, teach some of those core skills, but B, do so in a fun way.
Circle A with the stunt double.
Oh! It's the opportunity, and you'll hear that over and over again when it comes to iLead, is the ability for people to come together and get outside their comfort zone, learn something new, recognize that they have skills that they didn't know that they had before, and really become self-fulfilled and developed within themselves. And it also offers the opportunity to better network, both internally within the firm as well as externally with the city.
In October, we're going to be putting together 3 days of events, and they're the events that you guys create.
Dreams are not just dreams that don't mean anything. Dreams are strategic vision.
So you're going to learn that, the journey is quite often more important than the end goal.
But what is leadership here in this downtown for you in this moment?
But it's really about having a great party and a great time and getting your networks to something you're doing, and then having this week of just you guys empowered to have fun, but to lead all of these events to happen over those 3 or 4 days.
Who has an idea that they are proud of and they would like to pitch to the rest of the team?
Hello, I'm Brianne Glaspie, and our idea is to do a documentary.
We thought urban camping would be a good opportunity to get people out in the outdoors.
Where we partnered together with Mezcal and the Comedy Sports Club and had kind of a themed comedy event.
I'm Kathleen Ong, and mine's Chopin, Cheese, Chocolate, and Children's.
You can get a restaurant to maybe host like a workshop where they teach you how to make dishes.
I was thinking we should put on some kind of event that would help connect musicians together.
Our table also came up with an idea called Stress Relief Day.
But we're kind of thinking like everybody's looking for love. Kind of like having the venue at the Museum of Art and maybe doing kind of like a little speed dating event.
You're going to have the opportunity to partner with a nonprofit and business in the downtown to create something unique, something vibrant.
So we're Downtown Yoga Studio, and we have worked with corporate partners like Intel and Applied Materials.
And I worked with Symphony Silicon Valley. I founded the company. We like to think of ourselves as cultural entrepreneurs. We're a part of a lot of aspects in San Jose.
First of all, big cheers to the city of San Jose and PricewaterhouseCoopers for getting together. So we're all about good food, but we love to have a good time.
So what you've just heard is some amazing groups and some amazing opportunities.
Original concept is involved that we've brought in Giant Creative Services to help with some of the promotions and guide some of these professionals. And I'd say it's who the partners and who the venues have been. It's much different how we originally envisioned it. It's really taken off a life of its own.
When you are participating in iLead, it's a built-in reason to have conversations with people you otherwise wouldn't have conversations with. It doesn't matter how many times you fail, eventually the time that you succeed is the one that is going to be the thing that people are going to remember. But the reason that you probably got to the point where you succeeded is because of all the stuff you learned along the way when you failed.
I mean, and you can do like a contest or something, right? Who can set up the tent the fastest? I mean, you have no budget. I mean, you have budget, but you don't have a budget.
So we set up a tequila tasting. Tequila is like really popular. We had a line of 45 minutes for 8 hours.
And then maybe you can figure out a way to match people up. Maybe it's a partner event, and they can.
So there'd be like an entrance fee at the door, and the proceeds would go to a not-for-profit organization.
Well, I've been hearing about PwC's iLead stuff for a few months from some of my friends at the City of San Jose, and so they were the first ones to tell me that events like this were going on. I specifically found this one through its Facebook page.
Being able to kind of go around downtown San Jose and promote an event gave me exposure to what PwC has to offer.
And we're really happy to have the PwC iLead event here. It's a great way for a lot of the Silicon Valley companies to get together and meet and greet for the young professionals that have just come into town, especially at PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Our event entailed making a wine mixer, pretty much, getting a lot of downtown professionals showing up, getting a glass of wine in their hand, and really allowing them to just kind of socialize with a lot of other coworkers around the area.
We have a mystery wine tasting tonight. They get to guess the wine, maybe win a prize, some good food, and then afterwards they get to network, maybe meet someone they haven't met before, maybe someone might fall in love, you never know. But that's what we're all about.
I think it's been a lot of fun so far. Obviously, it's at a great venue with a lot of good wine and good food, but I've been really surprised at how social everyone's being. There's a lot of great conversation going on around the tables.
It really gave us a chance to kind of increase the exposure to downtown San Jose, and that's what I think it did. Looking at the kind of diverse backgrounds that we got here, we have people from a lot of accounting firms, we have people from eBay, Facebook, Polycom, Accenture, San Jose State, really bringing everyone in together and able to have kind of that happy hour or social experience is really kind of what made it worth it at the end.
Well, this is just the beginning of what I've been seeing, but I think the more venues and businesses that you can get involved with in downtown San Jose, the better, because there's a lot of really special places down here.
Hi, my name's Kip Harkness. I'm with the City of San Jose, and I'm here with the iLead Challenge at Morocco's. Marhaba to everyone. What we've got going on here tonight is both a food tasting and a benefit for the Humane Society. So it's a combination event. Folks have told me what's a little tricky about it is $30 a head. So they've been working hard to get everybody to come out, and they've got a direct competition with the wine tasting. So we'll see how they do against that as a direct competition.
So it's very exciting to be here with colleagues and helping out in a special event and also having some delicacies. So it's very nice.
And we're really grateful to have Morocco as our partners in this wonderful event, a fundraiser for Humane Society. As a representative of PwC, I'm very grateful to Morocco's management, Sham and Jay, for organizing such a wonderful event and contributing to our community.
We're so happy at Morocco's restaurant to be doing a fundraiser tonight with PricewaterhouseCoopers to support the Humane Society of Silicon Valley, protect animals around the world, and thanks for the City of San Jose for being part of this.
Get involved and
Spay and neuter your pets.
We had an initial concept at first that was to work with a completely different organization and go a completely different route. After meeting together as a group several months into it, we realized that it wasn't going to work. So we continued to brainstorm, and that's when we came up with the idea of having a restaurant crawl where we could get local restaurants involved, mostly based on location and also having a local flair. We didn't want to focus on any kind of chain restaurants, but we wanted to bring more of a focus on the local businesses here and what they have to offer for downtown San Jose. We just initially kicked it off tonight. I know in certain things of the planning phases, some of the weaknesses were just trying to get everybody on the same page because there was so many people involved and come together as a group and each person tackle a different hole and make sure that we came together and pulled off a successful event. It was a lot of fear at first, you know, kind of like jumping off a cliff. There was people that I hadn't met before that I was placing this team with. It was completely out of my comfort zone. We all have the limited knowledge of each other, and the only way to get over that is to communicate, talk with each other, and figure out what everybody's interests are in terms of what kind of event we want to plan, and also their strengths and weaknesses so we can kind of apply that and make sure we had a successful event.
We are here for a greater cause, which is to help the children.
We have a program called Progressions. 90% of the kids that we're working with live at or below the poverty level. And what this program does is a youth development program that uses music. And what we do is we inspire the kids. We're a catalyzer.
The autumn leaves drift by my window. The falling leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, those summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold.
I did not anticipate the challenges before me. One of our biggest challenges were we had a lot of musicians drop out at the last minute. We actually had one more band scheduled that did not show up. They canceled on us at the last minute. So that's why we filled in the music set with our own songs.
Having gone through the process of organizing an event, you know, you learn so much about what goes into organizing an event and how many people you need to depend on, and just getting all the pieces put together. And I just feel, you know, so proud of the fact that we made it to this event and it's actually happening. We had some really great singers and bands come up and play, and some of my colleagues were also we also got a chance to play, which is, you know, it's really great to see that there are talented people in the firm and elsewhere in the community.
I mean, I really like our events because, you know, music has been, you know, part of my life, and I think music is very important for everybody, and especially like for the kids who are not lucky enough to be able to learn, you know, music at school. So through this event, we are giving them the opportunity maybe to, you know, get to familiar with the music and, you know, maybe discover like something new and exchange, you know, around the music, because that's what I've been doing, you know, with music.
You know, I think it's just really exciting when you get to do something that you haven't done before. It's fun to try new things. It's kind of a novelty when you get to do a new kind of dance or artwork that you would never otherwise do. And I think experiencing something new is probably the most fun about the whole event.
Today we hosted PricewaterhouseCoopers belly dancing class at Morocco's with the wonderful Adriana.
The two brothers, their goal is to create an environment where Americans can experience different cultures and different musics and dance and different food. You know, I think their tagline is "Experience the Magic." So it's this whole experience, and of course, belly dancing plays into that. Belly dance is awesome for women because it involves a lot of the hip movements. It's very sensual. It could also be very exciting to move different body parts, listen to different music that maybe you don't get to do every day.
It's important to have events and small businesses and for them to partner up because there's a lot of really great ideas in San Jose. There's a lot of great small business owners and they all have a vision and they're all very unique in their own way, and it's a great way for these small businesses to get exposure in the community. And you know, having events encourages people to come to their businesses and experience something new, and that's nice. It's nice to do something different.
Well, you know, we're all about collaboration with different community organizations around the Bay Area, especially in the downtown core. And PricewaterhouseCoopers has always been one of our favorite neighbors, corporate clients, as well as supporters, as we have a lot of the staff from there who would come in, bring their families, have dinner. So when they actually reached out to us to work together on this event, we, of course, were delighted to do it, and we hope we get to do many more things like that again.
Right now I'm at Allen Rock Park at Urban Camping Event in San Jose. We got teaching some basic camping skills in the background there. We decided to do a camping educational program with basics such as setting up tents, tying knots, starting campfires, cooking. It's definitely forced me to be a little bit more outgoing. I actually don't know most of the skills here yet, so I'm going to learn them with them.
Lean to the side.
From its beginning, we just wanted to teach camping skills. Camping's always been a hobby of mine. I want to get people out camping more, make them more aware of how to take care of nature when they are out. And we're just teaching people how to do that, set up tents, keep their food safe from animals, tie knots, basically camp and have a good time. I learned to rely on people and to make sure you have good people around you. Where we were told we were supposed to plan an event of some sort. Thought, you know, camping is a passion of mine. Somebody else at the table thought camping was a good idea, and it just kind of grew from there. I learned you really need a good team of people, so I have a lot of people helping me out. Just want to encourage anyone to get out and camp. It's a great family vacation. Some of my best memories were just going with my family, spending the night in a tent. You don't have to worry about what you're going to do. Just spending time with people you love around the campfire. That's pretty much as good as it gets. The skills you need, you could learn really fast. We put together a booklet. We called it Camping 101 that teaches the skills you would need, and we could get you access to that if that's something keeping you from going out. But just get out there, have a good time.
In a better state of mind than when you came in, and that's a ripple effect as you meet people out in the world. You're a better person leaving than you were coming in. The ultimate goal of yoga is enlightenment. So there's a path to enlightenment.
Take the next cycles of breath.
From my perspective, the tremendous benefit of it has been that it is a win-win-win. In other words, it's a win for the city and our community, and I see us as a really key contributor to the San Jose and Silicon Valley community. It's a win for our firm because it allows us to really be in the market, and more particularly, it's a win for our people in that it allows them to develop soft skills that layer onto their existing technical skills that they're developing in-house.
I know as a city, we definitely benefit from it, our businesses, the city as a whole, and our nonprofits, because we are highlighting the assets we have downtown and really highlighting the talent that these young professionals have and getting them a vested interest in downtown. You know, the neat thing about downtown is it's unfinished. You get to play a role in finishing this downtown and building it, and programs like this will help do that.
Well, I think professionally I've gotten a deepened respect for the level of competency that an organization like PwC brings to it. To be able to take a crazy concept like this, sketched out on a single piece of paper by two crazy guys from City Hall, and turn it into reality while doing everything else they do is pretty damn incredible. And so professionally it's been great to see the efficiency with which they work, and also for me is to be able to really see a new way that the public sector can partner with the private sector. We brought into this some ideas, some enthusiasm, some energy. They brought into this their ideas, enthusiasm, energy, money, resources, people. And now that we are in an era where less and less we're going to have the tax dollars to simply do something, I think that what I've learned professionally is that the energy of the public sector is best used to harness and support the energy of the private sector, and that that energy is really the wave of the future that we'll be riding.
Hear the yell, back to school, ring the bell, brand new shoes, walking blues, climb the fence, books and pens. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Walk with me, Susie Lee, through the park.
I realized that it was about more than me, and me as the leader. That being the leader doesn't necessarily mean getting your way, but showing. Yeah, do you struggle with this?
You get some good leadership lessons going here.
A lot of time. I'm in a different line of service where it was kind of a downtime for me, so I'm thinking, well, we got time to do this. What? I didn't know what they were all talking about.
Numbers, letters, learn to spell, nouns and books, and show
started off with speed dating. He had to think of ideas as to how to get that going, how to alleviate the awkwardness of speed dating, I guess. And so ultimately,
Turns out that if you just have enough people camping out, you could camp out right in front of City Hall.
Thank God you didn't do that.
We sit side by side in every class.
We found a new appreciation for how difficult delegating is.
It'll be interesting to see what we look like on camera.
Oh, yes, it will.
Oh, no, it won't.
Oh, I guess you get to edit, don't you?
But you and I will walk together again. I can tell that we are